Sometimes people may criticize you, accuse you, level all kinds of allegations at you. In that precious and slight moment, almost everyone immediately goes on the defensive. I didn't mean it like that. You misunderstood. I'm not that kind of person. That truly wasn't my intention. These may sound right. They may even seem ordinary. But according to Machiavelli, that is precisely the moment you lose, because the moment you defend yourself, you unknowingly adopt this premise. In short, the moment you protect yourself, their appetite is whetted. What Machiavelli understood was this: people who defend themselves shrink. Those who do not defend themselves force others to defend them. This is the law of nature. Your self-defense usually persuades no one. On the contrary, you give power to the other person. Because you have joined the game by their rules, you have started answering the questions they have posed. Do you know what that means? It means saying, I am speaking according to your sense of justice. And that is the moment you lose the game. The building block of power is perception. If people see in you the slightest unease, a need to protect, wait a minute, I can explain demeanor, they see you as weak, not strong. The person rushing to explain themselves always appears to be at fault. What do strong people do? They safeguard their composure. They remain motionless. The accusation hangs in the air, and the other side is suffocated by the sound of their own voice. The slander they hurled causes them to fall into the pit they dug themselves. The true mastery is this: to reflect the accusation back at them like a mirror, to make them doubt, to make them think that the one who is overly reactive, overly emotional, even exaggerated, is themselves. The first person to speak usually loses the game, because whoever controls the frame wins. As Machiavelli said, he who controls the frame controls the outcome. Most people defend themselves because they want to be understood. They think they need to understand me correctly. But this comes from a feeling in the moment, not from power. What you really need is not to be understood, but to take control. Someone understanding you is like therapy. Control is for power. When someone calls you arrogant, cold, selfish, manipulative, if you immediately start saying, you misunderstood, you lose, because now you are the one reacting. The initiative has passed to the other side, and you lose your most important weapon: mystery. The truly powerful people in your life have a common trait. They wield silence like a weapon. A single look from them makes people doubt. When slander is thrown at them, they don't even budge. What Machiavelli said is very simple. He who expresses himself accepts defeat and surrenders. The one who remains silent creates thoughts in the other person's head. People usually assume a quiet, calm person is stronger than they actually are. This increases their power. When you remain unresponsive, people become uncomfortable. They start to doubt their own words. They look for a solution around them. They can't find it. As you stay silent, they shrink and you grow, because you have done what they could not. You have allowed them to destroy themselves with their own words. You enter a room. Someone throws a jab at you. Everyone looks at you, and you say nothing. You neither defend nor retaliate. You just stand there calmly. That is the moment power completely transfers to you. Everyone starts thinking this question: why didn't they react? Don't they care? Are they that self-assured? Silence sometimes speaks louder than 1,000 words. because power lies not in the words you say. It is hidden in the words you choose not to say. Sometimes just this is enough. Someone accuses you of being manipulative. You simply smile and say, if that's how you see it. You don't explain, you don't get hurt, you don't panic. You relegate your emotions to the background. This attitude leaves the other party in ruins because they expected a fight. After a while, even the accuser starts to feel bad. Without you doing anything, the balance of power shifts. You can even go so far as this. They call you egotistical. You leave them with a sentence like, self-confidence bothers some people. They call you fake. You reply with, that's what everyone says when they can't get something from you anymore. When you do this, you don't deny anything. On the contrary, you make their own words blow up in their face. The essence of these power games is this: do not oppose with a shield. Let the attacker fall with their own momentum. Life tries to teach you this: protect your image, express yourself, clear your name. But Machiavelli says this: the moment you start defending yourself, you look guilty. This is why the true strategist does not explain. They speak through their composure, their posture, their indifference, and in time, the attacker begins to look weak, jealous, unstable. If you experience not explaining yourself even when people think badly of you, this happens. The more they cannot figure you out, the more they fear you, because everyone is wary of the unknown. Machiavelli says, it is better to be feared than to be loved if you cannot be both. Being respected, even being somewhat feared, is healthier than being liked, because the person trying to be understood is always in the lower position. The one who stands tall, even if not understood, is always in the higher position. The biggest misconception is this: you assume you need a good reputation. No, you need a powerful reputation. You don't need to be loved by everyone. It's enough to be someone everyone approaches with caution. This power comes when you learn not to explain. Even your silence becomes a message. Saying nothing at all appears as a move. Think about why people who remain silent get more respect. Because people fill the void behind them with their own imagination, and the human mind generally exaggerates power. That's why the person who doesn't explain themselves, even unintentionally, creates a mystery. Mystery makes people more cautious around you. Machiavelli's concern was not looking good, it was maintaining control. When you stop defending yourself, you might even see people start to defend you. Because when someone accuses you and you don't react while they keep talking, it is they who end up looking like the fool. And you, without uttering a single word, gain power. The crux of the matter is this: instead of defending, define. Choose silence. Use short, clear, closing sentences. Okay? If you say so. Time will tell. Noted. Let your posture speak, not the argument. The strongest man is not the one who attacks, but the one who doesn't even feel the need to attack. Because in people's eyes, such a person appears untouchable. One day, the attacks will stop, because people's gut knows messing with you doesn't bring victory, it diminishes them. At that point, power is no longer in your voice, it is in your posture, and that posture no one can question.